Good morning. Myself Dr. Krishnamurthy, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Chemistry, JSS Art, Science and Commerce College, Gokak. So last class we discussed about the important steps involved in the metallurgical process. So the three steps already completed. Step 1, crushing of ore. Step 2, concentration of ore. Step 3, extraction of crude metal from the concentration of ore is completed in previous class. Today we discussed about the last and important step, that is refining of metals. Refining nothing but it is the process in which purifying the metal. Refining, it is the process of purifying the metals. It is called refining of metals. That involves different methods based on the nature of metal and also the nature of impurities. Based on the nature of metal and the nature of impurities, there are different methods. At this stage also, certain substances, certain impurities are combined with the metals. We remove the impurities and get a pure metal, 99.9% pure metal obtained by following one of the methods. The methods involves distillation method, liquefaction method, electrolytic refining, zone refining and vapor phase refining. These are the methods. So let us discuss one by one in detail. First is distillation method. So generally distillation process, distillation method is nothing but it is a heating process. Heating the mixture nothing but two or more components or two or more liquids. We separate into individual components. The separation based on the difference in the boiling point. This is a very important. Distillation is based on the difference in the boiling point. That means one component has low boiling point and another component has high boiling point. Or one liquid has low boiling point and another is high boiling point. Here also the crude sample. This is the schematic diagram. Here this is a distillation flask. Here crude metal is taken. Crude metal nothing but metal and also impurities. Crude metal is taken in distillation flask. Here the metal have low boiling point when compared to impurities. That is the basic principle. The low boiling point metals are refined by this method. Crude metal is taken in distillation flask and it is fitted with fractionating column and also thermometer. This is a water cooled condenser and this is the receiver. So crude metal is taken and it is heated. What happens? Low boiling point metals are more volatile. They come to fractionating column. They are vaporized and enter to the water cooled condenser. This is water cooled condenser. In this, the vapor form of the metal. Here metal vapor is there. Around that water is circulating. This is water in and water out. There is a supply of water or heat exchanger. In this, the vapor metal are condensed to form a pure metal. We get a pure metal from the impure metal or crude metal. This is the distillation process. So distillation process based on the difference in the boiling point. Metal have low boiling point and impurities have high boiling point. When it is heated, the low boiling point metals have more volatile. Then the vapors are condensed and finally we get a pure metal. This is the distillation process. In this, the low boiling point metals such as zinc, cadmium, mercury are refined by this method. This is the distillation method. So next, liquefaction method. So this is based on the difference in the melting point of metal and impurity. Melting point of metal and impurity. The low melting point metals are refined by this process. Low melting point metals. That means impurities have high melting point. So in this, the crude metal is taken. So this is the sloping that is the sloping table. In this impurities are taken. This is a evaporatory furnace. Heat the impurities. Here the low melting point. Because of low melting point, the metals are easily melt. Metals are melt into liquid and leaving behind the impurities. Because impurities have high melting point. They are here only. The low melting point metals are melt and they move to the receiver. Here we get a pure metal. Pure metal from the crude metal. This is the liquation. So liquation process based on the difference in the melting point. Metals have low melting point and impurities have high melting point. So low melting point metals are melt and moves to the sloping table or sloping earth and enter to the receiver and left behind the impurities that have high melting point. For example, here tin, lead, mercury, bismuth, these are all low melting point metals. These are refined by this method. This is liquation. That is, metal melts because of low melting point. This is the liquation process. Next is electrolytic refining. In this method, impure metal made as anode, a thick sheet of impure metal made as anode, and a thin sheet of pure metal made as cathode. These are connected to the battery, and the solution of salt of same metal is used as electrolyte. Then these metal rods or these electrodes are suspended or introduced to the electrolyte on passing electric current or electrolysis. What happens? A pure metal from the anode dissolves and deposited on cathode as a pure form. This process is repeated, and the impurities, the insoluble impurities, are settled below the anode, that is called anode mud. This is the electrolytic refining or electrolysis. Electrolysis is nothing but it is the process to decompose the ionic substrates into simple ions. Simple ions by electricity. Electricity nothing but movement of the electrons. Movement of electrons are ions. For example, if you take the refining of copper, if you take an example for the refining of copper, a thick sheet of impure copper made as anode and a thin sheet of copper metal made as cathode, and this anode is connected to the positive terminal of the battery and the cathode is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. Then electrolyte is here copper sulfate. Copper sulfate, because electrolyte should be the solution of salt of same metal. If you refine in copper, you take copper sulfate. The solution salt of same metal taken. Copper sulfate is the electrolyte. So here what happened? Copper ions and sulfate ions. Copper ions, sulfate ions in the solution. So during the electric current, during the electrolysis, passing electric current, what happened? Oxidation takes place in case of anode. So the electrode which oxidation takes place, that is anode. Here oxidation takes place, that nothing but the copper lose electrons to form ion. Here are copper metal or copper atom. When pass electric current during the electrolysis, what happens? These copper lose electrons to form an ion. This is copper 2 plus 2 electron. So copper lose electrons to form copper ion, that is cupric ions or copper ions. These copper ions, when the metal or atom converted into ion, it is not stable on the metal rod, it goes into the solution. So copper ions or cupric ions are go into the solution. These electrons are moved towards this direction to the battery and circuit. Finally, they enter to the cathode. The two electrons are go to the circuit, through circuit enter to the cathode, and the ions goes into the solution. These ions, copper 2 plus, goes into the solution. This portion cathode has negative charge. Therefore, the cations, that is copper ions, move towards the cathode rod. Here, the electrons present. So these copper ion gain electrons to form a copper. So a copper loses 2 electrons to form an ions. They dissolve, goes into the solution, and the gain electrons to form copper deposited on cathode. This process is continuous during the electrolysis. The other impurities present in the sample, the insoluble impurities goes into the solution. They collected below the anode, because these impurities obtained by the anode electrode, that is impure electrode, they are secure at the bottom of below the anode, that is called anode mud. Or anode sludge. Then at the end, the size of the cathode increases. And the size of the anode decreases. Finally, this anode electrode is disappeared. Then again the further process. Take a thick impure copper metal and repeat the process. By this way, we get a pure copper, 99.9% pure copper by this electrolytic refining. Here at anode, what happened? Copper lose 2 electrons to form cupric ions or copper ions. That is called oxidation. Nothing but loss of electrons. Similarly, at cathode, what happened? The copper ion gain electrons to form copper. This is reduction. Nothing but addition of electron or gain of electron. So at anode, oxidation takes place. At cathode, reduction takes place. By this way, we get a pure copper or pure metal. So in this method, we should use a solution of salt of same metal. If different solution is taken, what happens? Same example for the refining of copper. Instead of copper sulfate, if you take ferrous sulfate as an electrolyte, what happens? This is the ferrous sulfate. So what happens? Ferrous ions. Here copper ions are dissolved in the solution. Similarly, in this ferrous ions also there. These are all cations move towards the cathode. Both copper and iron are deposited. Here copper, iron. Then we remove iron from copper. That is the next process. We are not getting a pure copper. Therefore, we are used a solution of same metal. Solution salt of same metal is used as electrolyte. In case of copper sulfate is used. In case of refining of silver nitrate or zinc, if you refine zinc sulfate is taken or used as electrolyte. Similarly, gold. So in this method, we refine copper, zinc, silver, gold, or refined. These metals are refined by this method, electrolytic refining. So next, zone refining. So next, another method is zone refining. In this method, the basic principle is fractional distillation. In this, the impure metal or the impurities associated with the metal. Impurities associated with the metal are more soluble in molten state. This is the very important sentence or the basic principle of this zone refining. What is that? The impurities associated with the metal are more soluble in molten state than its solid state. That is the basic principle. In this chamber, the crude metal is taken in a metal rod. This is a metal rod. In this, crude metal is taken. It is fitted with a circular mobile heater. This is circular mobile heater. This is a crude metal, and this is a molten state, molten zone. This is a position, molten zone. Here, the impurities, the crude metal containing impurities and also the metals. Here, impurities are more soluble than the metal. Metal are crystallizes here, impurities are soluble. This is circular mobile heater. When we move this direction of molten zone and impurities. So molten zone along with the impurities, they move towards another end. This is one end, another end. The impurities come to another end. Impurities come to another end. So pure metal at one end and impure metal at the another end. Repeat the process. What happened? The complete impurities come to one end. Finally, this end is cut off and discarded. We get 99.9% pure metal. This is zone refining. So zone refining based on the depending upon the impurity associated along with the metal are more soluble in the molten state than in the solid state. By this way, we get a pure metal. And another method is vapor phase refining. And fifth method is vapor phase refining. Fifth method, vapor phase refining. Vapor phase refining. In this method, vapor phase refining, the crude metal first converted into volatile compound with the suitable reagent, and then the volatile compound is heated or decomposed. We get a pure metal. Here two steps. Vapor phase refining, what happened in the beginning? The impure metal is heated with a suitable reagent to form a volatile compound. That is the first step. Then the volatile compound is heated to high temperature. It decomposes to form a metal vapor, and it is condensed to get a pure metal. This involves two methods. One is Bond's process and the other one is Van Arkel process. Bond's process. In Bond's process, impure nickel is heated with a carbon monoxide. We get a volatile compound, nickel tetracarbonyl. Impure nickel. This is impure. Impure nickel is heated with carbon monoxide. It is heated about 330 to 350 Kelvin. We get a volatile compound, nickel tetracarbonyl. This is volatile compound. Then again it is heated to 450 to 470 Kelvin. We get a pure nickel. Plus 4 carbon monoxide. This is Mond's process. In the Mond process, impure nickel is heated with carbon monoxide. We get a volatile compound. That is the nickel tetracarbonyl. Again, it is heated to high temperature. It decomposes to give a pure nickel. Similarly, another method, Van Arken method. Van Arken method. In this method, zirconium and titanium metal are combined with iodine to form a metal tetraiodide, that is zirconium tetraiodide or titanium tetraiodide, that is volatile compound. Then again it is heated to high temperature, we get a vapor metal, volatile metal, then it is condensed to form a pure metal. Example, zirconium, it is heated with iodine, it is heated to about 870 Kelvin, we get zirconium tetraiodide, then it is heated to 2075 Kelvin, we get zirconium, it is in the pure form. This is impure. Similarly, titanium. Impure titanium is heated with iodine. About 523 Kelvin, we get titanium tetraiodide. Then it is heated 1700 Kelvin, we get a pure titanium. Pure titanium. So this is vapor phase refining. So in vapor phase refining, what happened? The impure metal, the metal is combined with a suitable reagent to form a volatile compound. This volatile compound are heated with high temperature, we get a pure metal. This is another method. By this way, we refine the metals, crude metal, and get a pure metal by following different methods: distillation method, liquefaction method, electrolytic refining, then zone refining, vapor phase refining. By following one of the method, depending upon the nature of metal and also the nature of impurities, then finally we get a pure 99.9% pure metal. So this is the metallurgical process. Thank you.